Sorry guys for the long wait, and I know it's just before lunch and you're probably hungry. I hope you're not very angry with the hunger. So I'm going to tell you the story of how it all began for me, and I went from zero knowledge to 8,000 collection of NFTs in just 6 weeks. Ooh, yeah, I was thinking how to. So just a little bit about my background. I always loved art and I always loved computers. My mom is a painter and my older brother is a computer engineer. So since I was a little girl, I was always half the time with my mom with paints and canvases, and the other half I was trying to sneak into my older brother's computer and see what that big box could do. And it was a big box back then. And I don't have a picture of me with computers or paints, but that's all I have with birds, and it's going to make a little bit more sense later. So I want to know a little bit about you guys. How many of you have minted your own NFTs? Okay, good. And how many of you have thought about doing it? Okay, these two groups should talk more and convince each other. So I'm going to tell you now my story, how in 6 weeks I created this project, starting from mid-September 2021, just 6 months ago. And I'm going to tell you how these 6 weeks were the most intensely fun, exciting, stressful, scary, and at the end sort of satisfying weeks for me ever. Week 1, I had heard about NFTs, but I was very skeptical and also lazy to get into. And I realized I just need to create a wallet, which would take 10 minutes, and I would also need some art, which was not so difficult because I was working as an architect, but in my free time, I always did paintings and illustrations. So I had a bunch of art laying around, not doing anything with them. So I started with minting some of these arts as NFTs. And I sent some of the physical works, like original watercolors or canvases, to some of the collectors. And I made some friends. It was pretty fun. And suddenly, all my NFTs went viral and sold out in the first week. That did not happen. I could not pay my bills with my paintings or illustrations yet. On the week 2, I decided to create one of these 10K collections or PFP collections that there are thousands of them around. And I thought, well, it's going to be birds because I always loved drawing and painting birds. By the way, these pictures are from my notebook. I was keeping a journal through all these projects. And I looked around at some of these projects and tried to figure out what am I going to need. I needed the art, which was the easy part, a website, and a Discord server, and much more that I did not know at that point yet. And I started with the art, which was the fun part for me. I guess most of you already know about these collections, how these PFPs work, that have different traits, body parts, layers. You have to select what goes well with what, and then put them in different layers, decide on what kind of traits each body part wants to have. And I was trying to meet some NFT people. Imagine everything was super new for me. I didn't even know what was an NFT a week ago. So I joined Discord, I joined Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces, and I started to talk to people. It was kind of scary meeting new people and talking with people you never met in real life. And I got thousands of followers on the social media instantly, and that also did not happen. High expectations. So I started to learn a little bit of code to generate my art. Well, not really code. I just started to learn the very basics of how to use Visual Studio Code to generate the art using the JavaScript. And I learned everything, like all the previous steps and the future steps, I learned everything from YouTube. I went through many different tutorials, and the most useful one that really helped me through the whole project was tutorials by this guy, Hashlips. I don't know, some of you might know him. He's amazing. Like, apart from being an amazing developer, he's a great character, personality, and his tutorials are like from zero, for someone who has no idea what they're doing, me, can get to create a project. So you can actually imagine the first time I hit enter and the whole code worked. I was super excited. I got off and I was dancing around in my room like, yay, I did it. It's actual footage of me. I had long hair before. And week 3, I was still adding more traits to the art, and I was watching tutorials, and I was like 24/7 on Clubhouse. Even at work, I was listening on Clubhouse discussions. And I realized that I'm going to need a little bit more than just a website and some art. I realized I'm going to need the metadata for this art, and I'm going to need a minting function, minting station on the website, smart contract, roadmap, being active on Twitter, Discord, and it started to get a little bit more difficult than what I thought. So there was so much to learn on all these aspects of the project, and so little time because I wanted to finish it in like a month. And I stopped my social life for the next weeks. I was working from 9 to 6, and then I got home at 6:30, and I was working on the project till midnight. Like basically, I didn't do anything else for those. Yeah, you can see this part of my notebook. I got so frustrated at some point, like, ah. And yeah, things started to get a little bit more complicated. So I realized that the next steps of doing this project, just the tutorials, were hours and hours, like more than 4 hours of tutorials. And I don't know if you've ever tried to do something based on a YouTube tutorial, something that you have zero idea how to do. Like imagine you want to assemble a washing machine, you don't even know how to use a wrench. So you have to watch the whole tutorial a few times and then watch it from beginning, pause 10 seconds, copy what they're doing. And yeah, so basically I had to do this over and over just to test if it works, and then to learn how it works, and then to do the actual thing. And I really freaked out. And I decided I'm not going to do it. And I thought, no, I've already created the art. I have to do it. So I kind of calculated in my head, if I can't do it with the smart contract, if I just want to do it manually, how long it would take me. So roughly it would take me just 150 hours of clicking and writing nonstop, not sleeping, not eating, not anything. So this was what was going on in my head for the next weeks. Like, yes, I'm going to do it. No, I can't do it. So, and week 4, I was still adding more traits to the art and doing the website and testing the IPFS. And I decided to launch it on Polygon Network because it was a good option for my project. And this is the website. Finally did the website. I created some logos and some assets for the website. And the main image on the main page of the website is based on a bar in Barcelona that I used to hang out there. And actually, the story of the birds is sort of based on the birds lurking around in this bar and trying to find breadcrumbs off of the floor from the bar. And then they decide to get together and create their own cafe, Cryptoverse Cafe, the name of the project, and be independent. So, and week 5, I was still adding more traits to the art and testing the smart contract on the testnet, testing the minting station, and the very difficult part, the marketing and community making. So I tried different solutions. I created an egg to airdrop for free to the fan birds. And I joined different spaces, and I submitted my project to some promotion websites for NFTs. And the Cryptoverse project was featured on the main page of the rarity tools. That did not happen either. So I did not have to Google how to handle fame yet. And I had to do a final test on the last week. And things started to go wrong again. So the browser that I was using to deploy the smart contract, it decided to upgrade on the same last week that I had to create the project. And the things were not working on that browser anymore. So I was freaking out. I moved to another browser. And the whole building that I was living in lost electricity, and I was working on a desktop computer, not a laptop. And I had no Wi-Fi, I had no computer. So, and it was crazy because in the past 2 years that I lived in that building, electricity had not been out even once. So it was like, what is going on, universe? And the launch day. So launch day, I woke up and I realized that I had forgotten to test one last thing. And it was, I don't know if you know these PFP collections, they usually have this hidden and reveal thing. So on the mint day, they have like a question mark or a placeholder image for the images, for the NFTs. And after a few hours or a few days, they revealed those actual images. So I had it all set, but I really wanted to check it to make sure 100% it will work. So just half an hour before the whole launch, I was creating a whole smaller version of the collection on the Polygon, not anymore testnet, on the mainnet, with a test wallet to make sure everything works. And yes, it worked. And finally launched it. Like 8,888 birds were ready to be minted on the Polygon blockchain. And the whole collection sold out in 10 minutes. That did not happen either. I was not that rich. And 1,200 birds are minted to this day, more or less. And they're still minting. And I love every single one of them, even though it didn't sell out, because they're my crypto babies, and they're like my first project in the NFT space. So yeah, Cryptoverse Cafe was done, but there was more to come. So I was posting pictures of this project on Instagram and social media, and I got offered a job by a company in New York who saw this project on social media. And this part actually happened, finally. Something good came out of it. So I quit my architecture job. I used to work in architecture forever. And I remember I called my parents and I was telling them, I'm going to change my career to work into NFTs. And they were like, what the heck is an NFT? And I explained a little bit about it, and they said, so it has nothing to do what you've been doing before or you studied. And that freaked me out even more. But at the end, I decided to actually do it because it was some sort of like I don't know, like a mix of a Pandora box with a rabbit hole. It was something really exciting. I already opened the box, and I saw what was coming out of it, and I couldn't stop it anymore. So I really thought it's something that I have to try. So I'm working with Seymour. It's a DeFi company in New York. And I take care of I take care of whatever they need related to NFTs. Their vision is to bank 1 billion people. And one of the projects that we do is like every week we give away NFTs and POAPs based on the events of that week. For example, if it's Valentine's Day or Women's Day or whatever event is coming. Actually, this week I think we had Van Gogh's birthday. And yeah, whatever event is coming, we do an NFT, giving it for free to the users of the app. And I myself am looking more and more to see what else I can do in this space. As I said, I'm super new and super excited, and I'm looking forward to get back to architecture somehow, but this time in the metaverse. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. Sorry for all the gifts. And thank you. If you want a POAP of this session, you can, can you share these? I don't have that many cards, but you can scan these or just message me on Twitter. Oh, here. You pass them along. Or you can scan these. And if you have any questions,
let me just turn the mic on. Yeah. I was very loud, so maybe it works. Did you learn to code the smart contract yourself?
I had an open source smart contract. I just learned how to edit it and deploy it on the blockchain and add attributes that I needed, like very basic.
Had some experience in coding before?
No, zero, nothing.
Thank you.
Welcome. Anybody else? Thank you. No questions? Sure.
Hello from Ukraine, everyone. Yep, I'm the one lucky from my country to get here, and I thank very much to the organizations that admitted me for free. It was a big chance for me. So I have a project, a charity project for Ukraine and humanitarian help, but I'm like one of the first weeks, like you were at the start of the journey, and I have content, but I need some support and some networking. Which kind of groups would you recommend so that to be a part of a big team? Or I found one team there in selling their big NFT collection for a charity for children, but maybe there is some kind of groups that you just recommend as a thing for some kind of social products, like social NFT. Could you recommend?
I think you're in the right place. There are so many people that are working in charities. But message me later, and I don't know any specific charities for that purpose, but we can connect on Twitter, and I can suggest you the ones that I know. Can help as much as I can. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.